Well, when my Bible study's loading, I've got one more for you. My Bible study is going to load any second too, isn't it? Hang on just a quick second. So I made a boo-boo. I forgot to go over tomorrow with y'all. And tomorrow is May 12th. Oh, by the time y'all are watching this, it's May 12th. So what do we have for tomorrow? We have Groundhog Day divorce date. To 512 cubed, 8 cubed. I'm gonna have to look at that. I don't know what that means. 9/11 2001 event lands on May 12th. That's kind of big, don't you think? October 20th 1978 and August 1st 2008, dark night and solar eclipse. Wow, that's when I saw the Dark Knight, and it's also a progression of when I scored my touchdown. So it's all personal things. There's nothing in here that has anything to do with an eclipse. It's my divorce. It is 9/11, which was the 86ing of the 88, my divorce. Interesting thing about 512, Candy's next marriage, as it's 8 times 8 times 8 is 512, so it's 888 coding. Tomorrow is, and Jackie's birthday, which was Earl, who Earl had a baby with. See, when Earl was murdered by his mom, he had a girlfriend and a baby, and she was my classmate, and we were good friends. She was very nice in my yearbook, and because she ended up then marrying my good African-American friend, Tracy McGrady, whose son is now in the NBA Hall of Fame. And I was best man in their wedding. And so if you divide that by 1961 and divide it by 12, yeah, she was December 16th. So 12 times 16 times 1961, same year. She begins with a 37, just like Earl's number began with a 37. And she's got the 76 for Adam. And she's got the 512 in her number, which is Candy's next marriage progression, or one way to say her next marriage progression. And it's also tomorrow's date. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on, this 512 tomorrow. And 9/11 2001, the event does land on May 12th, which is quite fascinating. Now, there are no eclipses that even back into it. Hold on, there is an eclipse. Okay, tomorrow does have an eclipse. It's the solar eclipse of August 1st, 2008. Hang on, let me get all this straightened back out. Yeah, an eclipse does hit on the 12th, y'all. So it's exactly the total solar eclipse of 2008. And which is when I saw the Dark Knight. So I need to really have it separated also as an eclipse, I think, it because look how it almost missed us there, thanks to my shoddy brain work there. So you go to 2008 and you do see the August 1st, 2008. August 1st, 2008 hits to 512 at 5032 days, and you do the math of 5032 divided by 37, and you do get 136 progressions. Now, there's a 136 for you right there. Day 136 is what? It's the total lunar eclipse. So could that just be numerical coding that the Lord gave us to tell us about day 136 that's coming up? And remember, 36 is the number, is a triangular number for 666, and there is a 13 involved. You know, so it's fused nicely from a 16th that way, or something that hits on tomorrow. Let me get it straight on the spreadsheet. When you run through the progressions of this May 12th, you do land on July 25th, which is Trump's address, 725 Fifth Avenue. And also the book of Daniel, 725, very key Bible verse about the Antichrist. Anyway, it lands on very specific key days there. So, you know, like November 13th, December 20th. I shouldn't say key days, October 7th, August 31st. But okay, that's tomorrow. Let's recap one more time. All right, so I updated the day we just passed. I did a copy instead of a. So tomorrow is big. And let's go over again why. There's no other eclipses that back into it. Because eclipses are the only thing that I would allow to back into anything or include both dates, right? I think that's only fair. So the 12th is Groundhog Day divorce date, or when I 86 the 88. It is also a total solar eclipse of August 1st, 2008, the day before I sat her down and told her I wanted a divorce. So interesting, right? And of course, that's when I saw The Dark Knight. And the next day asked for a divorce. I was going to ask her that day because her kids left. But we ended up going out to dinner with my first wife. And my second wife and my first wife went to go see the movie Mamma Mia. They did not want to go see The Dark Knight. They said, looks too dark. My son, myself, and his girlfriend, we went to go see The Dark Knight. You can't make it up. It also hits on 9/11. Talk about the 86 and of the 88 symbolism. 9/11 2001 event lands on May 12th. Lastly, October 20th, 1978, when I scored my touchdown. And when I saw The Dark Knight in the solar eclipse, but we already went over that. So should I just remove? I think I'll keep them. So I have to remember they're all kind of together. When I saw The Dark Knight. Very strange that I saw The Dark Knight, which is about the darkened right eye, because the next progression is The Dark Knight rises. So we rise on the third day, and they literally brought the movie out on the third day after The Dark Knight, July 18th, 2008, and then July 20th, 2012. Leap year to leap year, July 18th to July 20th. On the third day, he rose. He rose, rises. So it's just very, I mean, along with 8 times 8 times 8 is 512. And just like, I would tell you based off just all that, I'm like, man, I think tomorrow is just an extremely high watch day. To me, the way I see things, it's every bit as big as May 16th. You're like, well, that's preposterous. Well, it's a progression of 9/11, 2001. They don't get much bigger than that. The rest of the stuff, I get it, is my personal stuff. There is an eclipse that lands on it. Boom, doesn't back into it, lands right on it. So it really backed into May 11th, which, yeah. So I should have said May 12th, and I'll write May 12th, May 11th, because that will remind me next time to back it up a day when we move into June. And so if you're wondering when the next 9/11 or that 9/11, hang on and I'll show you. If we go to tomorrow, June 18th is the next 9/11 progression. And if you want to go through them all with me, I'll do it. But when the twin Trumps fell down, those progressions land on, and also July 25th, which is Trump's address, single digit. He has 5 multiple addresses for Trump Tower, 721 through 725, that perfectly match the little horn of Daniel 7 passage. And he's hearing his own name, but Trump is a horn, and Jesus said the Antichrist would be hearing his own name. So it lands on, but if you ever look it up as a single address, it's 725 Fifth Avenue. If you were to mail a letter and you said 721 Fifth Avenue, it would still get there. The next is August 31st. We don't hate that day. The next, October 7th, like I said. And then it's what? November 13th, I think. And then it's December 20th. Whoops. Does it go all the way to, you know what does, I want to know what does land on. Let's go April 20th. We've done this before, haven't we? 2023, which is the next total solar eclipse, which is when we think the abomination of desolation is, or at least when I do. And let's start backing it up. Let's go back. May 22nd. Do I have that logged as an eclipse? May 22nd. August 26th, 1985 is when they first went 88 miles per hour on the car tag in James Bond movie For Your Eyes Only. Annual solar eclipse, August 22nd, 1979, the year I graduated. Tracy McGrady Sr., his birthday, and he's got the 156 and the 88 in his number. 156. 9/11 is the 156th prime number. And he's got the 88 also in his number. His birthday was 8 times, whoops, that's 5. 8 times 10 times 1961. 156. 88. So it's basically like saying 9/11, 88. That's May 22nd, which is a progression. I've got to now load this. It's also an annual. We went over to 3. There's going to be a 4th one, y'all. It bounces off of the eclipse. Total solar E on April 20th, 2023. Abomination. I'll put a question mark. Abomination of Desolation Day? Right? Let's put a big check mark there. Let's jack that font up to about a 36-ish. What do you say? It fits. We're not sleeping on May 22nd either, are we? Nope. Sure ain't. Sure ain't, is we not. We just keep adding things to this thing, don't we? Now you see why I try to couple them up and save time or save space. And now the next hit is June 28th. We don't hate that because that is in my stepdaughter's wheelhouse of having an 886 in her days old number. And we remember that she's got the 138, the 88, and the 86 all in her number. 113,886. Because if we count days and you run it to June, what did it say? 28th? She'll be 886, 7 days old. There's your 886. She's got a 9-day frame in that. So we don't hate that 628. Why don't we hate the 628? Well, you know how second wife and I had the 627, 127, 627, 120, all in there through it, but it moves to 628, 128 for the next 15 years, beginning in 2023. If he was to go down on 628, 2024, and then it's a progression of the abomination of desolation, that would fit. And my first wife was 628. Her birthday, again, Obama's birthday, 1964 she was. Her numbers begin with 628. 62848 is her number. So, you know, it's just interesting. It's all just fascinating stuff to me. All this is. So total solar E on April 20th. We better highlight this April 23 also, because we want to make sure we don't, that we see it as for what it is, as a very different type of solar eclipse that it's bouncing off of. Can't believe I didn't have that progression loaded, but it's loaded now. It's loaded now, folks. So tomorrow is very interesting. Very much so. Very much so. All right, love y'all.